Boom, what's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Mutana, and welcome to the Fairway, a good friends, better rivals special edition show. Today we are doing our final day recap of the Ryder Cup, but today it was intense.
What a
I don't.
final day. What a
What a
final day.
final day!
Wow.
But with me to break it down as always is my main man Ryan. Ryan, how are you, bro?
I'm doing very well, Ferris. Just still trying to process how this Sunday went. What
Mm-hmm.
an unbelievable Sunday singles in the Ryder Cup. Like, I don't think any of us predicted what was going to happen or what did
Yes.
happen, but man, it was exciting and I can't wait to talk about it.
I can't wait to talk about it either, but let's get right into it, man. So the Americans came into the final day down. I believe it was 11 and a half to four and a
Four and a
half,
half,
four
100%.
and a half. The Europeans only needed 2.5 points
Mhm.
to retain. Actually, they only needed technically
A point and a half.
a point and a half because
To retain.
retainment is only 14 points. Wait, no, Ryan, we
Yeah,
were correct. No, we were correct. It was 2.5. Yeah, they needed 2.5 to
that's
just
right.
retain.
Two and a half. Yeah,
Needed 2.5 just to retain, because they built up their massive lead in the first two
hmm
days of team play. You know, the alternate shot in the mornings and the foursomes in the afternoons. They completely dominated both days, so they had that big old lead. So when you looked at it, the U.S. needed to win 10 matchups straight up
hmm
out of the 12 because they were at 14 and a half. So they needed straight up 10 straight up wins. Um, but we had unfortunately we had sad news entering the day when we found out that Viktor Hovland and Harrison English weren't going to be playing because Viktor Hovland injured his neck. So
yep.
it was an agreement that each team got half a point for that. A lot of fans are angry because they're like, "That's that what? What do you mean they got half a point, even though their guy's the one who pulled out?" Apparently, it's been agreement for 40 years. It's just the
Yeah.
way they do
I,
things.
I think they called it a gentleman's agreement,
A gentleman's agreement. I
and yeah,
generally
it's
think.
been there
I
for
think.
40 years.
Yeah,
And
it's been.
again, it's I don't know. Everybody thinks what they want about it.
Mhm.
I mean, my question is, okay, so what if Victor Hovland started the round and then had to pull out because of an injury? Would that count as a concede?
It has to be a concede.
So I
It
don't see
has
what
to
the
be.
difference is here, but obviously, the biggest talk right now, like between like I watched the press conference for the Americans, and that was brought up, and Keegan Bradley says that rule has to change.
Well, here's the two about Keegan Bradley. I honestly shut up. All right, just shut up. Because let's say you get the point, you still
hmm
lost. It was a tie. It's 14-14. You still lost. Like you don't get the cup. You tied. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no,
And
no, the Europeans would still retain the cup with 14.
yeah, yeah, they retain the cup. You don't win. You
Yeah,
you don't
there's
win.
no winner,
Yeah,
but they still retain the cup. So
yeah.
yeah,
So it,
I get it. It's to me, it's a rule that needs to be addressed. I don't think
yes.
it's I don't think it's. I think it's because it's never been enforced or invoked before until
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
That I think
I
now it's a big
I
deal.
I don't agree with the rule. I am with you, Ron. The Americans should have gotten the full point. It should have been like, but
Well, yeah,
I found out apparently this has been an agreement. This is how they do things. It's been going on for years. So if this is the way y'all want to do things, okay. I will know. If I was I'm gonna be real with you. If I was Keegan Bradley and I found that out, I'm like, no, I'm not
yeah.
doing that.
But Keegan
I'm not
Bradley
doing that.
doesn't. He
But
can't. It doesn't matter what he says. It's that
yeah.
that was what the rule
Well,
was, and
if
that's
he
what the
may
rule
if
is. But going forward,
but isn't
you know,
well here's the thing, Ryan. Is it an actual rule? It says an agreement, but is it a rule?
well, that's
I haven't
again.
seen
I
anyone
I
say this is
don't
an
know.
actual. I haven't seen because I've been following the radical. I've been following Dan Rappaport, Claire Rogers. I've been following them. I haven't seen them say this is an actual rule. They just say
No,
it was an agreement.
but I
They
believe it's a gentleman's agreement.
exactly.
Yes.
So I think the report was both captains met and they agreed on this. That's not a
Because
rule.
no, but that's because that was the precedent set
Yes.
for 40 years ago.
Yeah. Exactly.
So my guess is something happened 40 years ago
Something must have happened because they said that
to
this is a
this.
40-year-old agreement. So I guess this, if this is the way I want to operate, sure, fine. But but here's the thing, Ryan. Here's the thing, Ryan. We can talk about that until we're blue in the face. That's not why the Americans lost.
No,
That's
100%.
not
Like
why the
that's the
lost.
thing. Like this is a non-subject
Yeah, yeah.
when it's based on the final outcome of the Ryder Cup and why
Mhm.
the Americans lost.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, American golf fans are grabbing at straws here, right? They're grabbing at this straw. Oh, Hovland
Sure.
should have conceded the point. They're grasping. I tweeted out, I'm very upset. I was seething in anger over Russell Henley, and I didn't even know he existed till a week ago. Even that isn't, yeah, Russell Henley missed those putts, and, he should have made them. He should have made them on back to back 17 and 18. He should have made them. But you shouldn't have been down 11 and a half to 4.5 entering the
Well,
final day.
yeah, like today, like today is not the reason why the Americans lost. Obviously,
No.
like with the way they played today, yeah, they give themselves a chance, which was
Mm-hmm.
fantastic to watch, and it was
Yes.
great to see the grit and everything. But it's the reason they lost is because they were so terrible. Well, not even they were so terrible. The Europeans just dominated, played better Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why the Europeans won this Ryder Cup. It wasn't because of you know, uh, call like, and I mean, there's going to be some calls Keegan Bradley that made is going to be in question, but when the Europeans needed to make a putt, they made the putt.
Mm-hmm.
When the Europeans needed to make an approach shot, they made an approach shot.
Yes.
The Americans just couldn't answer what the Europeans were coming at them with, or the the Americans would get a little bit of a little bit of momentum, and what would happen? The
Mm-hmm.
Europeans would come back, they would stick one close, birdie, and we're all back to square, or one up or whatever like that. When the Americans made it all square,
Yeah.
and the Americans had no answer for the Europeans. That's
Yeah.
what this Ryder Cup boiled down to, was the Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing, right? When they were talking about the Sunday singles, right? And they talked about how like the Europeans in the first 2 days would get out to get out an early lead right away.
Mm-hmm.
First 5 holes, they would be up a lead, up one or up two, or up three, depending on who it is. They got up a lead, and then 7 through 12 were more of the difficult holes, which then evened it out. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, when it's evened it out,
but it didn't really, it evened
the
it out a
Europeans
bit.
are
But that's
yeah,
where
but
the
the Europeans
Europeans.
were already up. They were
But
already up in the first five.
yeah, but that's also where the Europeans would start to turn a little bit,
Yes.
and that one or two up lead through 13 would go to three or four, because they would dominate 14th or 15th, like
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. But no, here's the thing. Thank you. Shout out to the deal. Shout out to the
Hey,
yeah, yeah. He says, why was this course set up not different to benefit the US? Zero rough, super soft greens doesn't make exactly. We were talking about this the last 2 days. Keegan Bradley messed up the course setup.
well, yes and no. Yes, I agree with you that
Mm-hmm.
but Keegan Bradley couldn't predict rain was going to come Thursday night and just soften those greens to the point where they were so
Mm-hmm.
receptive it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
Like Keegan Bradley, like, yes, do I believe there was missteps? 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, those, like, you can't predict rain. Like I think
That's
I
true.
guess
You
you
can't predict
could,
the rain. Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah, but I
but
guess
no,
Keegan
I
Bradley
agree.
can't.
But I agree with that comment from the deal. Like, yeah, like the course should have been set up differently. I just believe that Keegan, he missed the boat on that.
He probably thought my guys, big T guys, and then we're gonna win off the tee, and then that's how we're gonna win. And when we get onto the green, we're gonna have good approach shots, and we're gonna have good like easy putts. But that's not what happened.
No,
Putts were not easy. They weren't easy. You had to make a putt. You had to make a putt. And everyone that kept talking about Beth Page Black, shout out to Nigel Krasky. He says, Rory, our European warrior, don't boo, respect your opponent. Absolutely, I agree with you.
one
There
hundred
was
percent,
there was
Nigel.
some shameful actions
One
in
hundred
the
percent
crowd.
agreement. Like,
Shameful,
it was.
shameful actions. I'm just Cameron Young. This is his home course. He grew up on this course. and he right out the gate won his first matchup. This is not the Bethpage Black that everyone plays. This isn't the Bethpage Black that showed up in 2018 during the majors. This isn't the same one. Keegan completely changed it. You know, they have that famous sign, the black course is for highly experienced players. Like it's intimidating for all the amateurs, even for some pros.
But
And
did you see the meme of that sign?
no, I haven't. It's probably like,
Oh, it was for highly skilled instead of players. It said Europeans.
yeah, I
It
guess
was so
so.
good. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
that's correct.
that's 100%
They
on point.
they made this course their you know what?
But
Like
at the
that's
same
what they did.
token, going back to the deals comment, why the rough was like cut down so much, I don't know. I think that like I I think it's because Keegan thought like the I don't know. I'm trying to.
I
I've been
I
trying to think of that. Like
I don't know either.
you don't want to set up like a U.S. Open. I understand that.
Hmm.
I get that, but I just don't know. Like what he was thinking.
I don't know, man. I don't
Again,
know.
like I don't know.
Yeah, man, and in a sense, thank goodness it was because there's a lot of times where the Americans had to play from the rough and they had to bounce back and get
But
back into it,
the
so it
thing
kind of
is,
benefited them.
but a lot of players benefited from the rough because the
Yeah,
greens were so soft.
exactly.
It was easier to control the spin because if you're out of the fairway, you're spinning that ball like that. The spin on that ball was so great that it would just suck it right back off the green.
Hmm.
Where on the fairway, you can control that a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
And respect to you too, Nigel.
Yeah,
Respect to you.
shout out to you, Nigel. Shout out to you, Nigel. Guys, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We're at 238 subscribers, trying to get to 250. So share this link. We're gonna be bringing back the fairway for special occasions, majors. So be on the lookout in April. So this may come back. Going defending champion Rory McIlroy trying to go for a back-to-back green jacket. So we'll see about that. But yeah, man, like everyone that kept talking about, they're like, this is not Bethpage Black. They were saying the entire time, this whole weekend, this is not Bethpage Black. This is not the course that I've played. This isn't
Well,
it.
no,
So
and
I don't know.
the biggest thing with Beth Page Black was the greens.
Mm-hmm.
The greens were so soft, and I could tell you, like from watching on TV and that course looked pristine.
Oh, it was
Like
beautiful.
they did their like they kept that course to a level that
Yeah.
is thank you very much.
Yeah.
But you can't predict rain and wetness, and we're also in September in New York. Like you're getting colder nights, you're getting dew in the mornings. Like you've seen them. Like I don't know, you've probably seen some of the morning sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, they're hitting out of the rough, and water is flying because of so much dew.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
all that does is make those greens that much slower as well. And
Yeah.
I do believe that the Europeans adjusted or can adjust better to slow greens than what the Americans can.
Well, yeah, Ryan. See, because I saw a stat today right before it is. So the Americans had a 1.85 stroke advantage on the green, but the Europeans had a 9.55 putting advantage.
There you go.
The putting was where it was. And here's the two, Ryan. We talk about Scotty Scheffler. He went 1-5. Scotty Scheffler threw 66 holes of the first 2 days. His opponents shot 32 under.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like
Comparison to him, he shot 22 under.
I don't think we could take anything away from what the American we could look at the first two
They
days
didn't
and
they didn't play bad.
no, the Europeans were
Just
just that much better.
yes, 110%.
Like and and,
110%.
and that could be there. I think a lot of that is the team, the team, the pairings from Keegan Bradley. I don't think were the
Mm-hmm.
proper pairings. I think a lot of it too is the Europeans are playing for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just seems like two totally different teams when push comes. And I know the Americans can sit there and say, "Oh, they want that. Oh, I love my 12 brothers or 11 brothers, and this and this is what we play for." You don't you don't see that like you do with the Europeans. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Europeans show that on the course. I didn't. I seen it a little bit with the Americans, but not as much as what you do with the Europeans.
Yeah, yeah. But now let's get down to the nitty gritty of the final day, Ryan. So
Sure.
right out the gate, the Americans right out the gate, they come out with Cameron Young against Justin Rose and Justin Thomas versus Tommy Fleetwood. And the Americans got 2 wins right out. Bang, bang, off of the 18th hole. Big putts by both Cameron Young and Justin Thomas, who actually won their matchup yesterday and then beating probably one of the best duos in the game, Rose and Fleetwood, one-on-one. So right out the gate, the Americans had momentum. Right out the gate.
Yeah. And
And
honestly, I was shocked when I seen the first 2 pairings or the first 2 going out for the Americans, because I was just like, what is Keegan Bradley doing?
yeah,
Obviously, like, you know what? Good on him. He had his hand on the pulse. I mean, I thought for sure that, like, you got to come out with Bryson, or you got to. And Cameron Young was absolutely a perfect play for the first group,
yeah.
or for the first out, because he's from there. He gets the crowd
This is his
ramped.
course. This
It's
is
his
his course.
course. So
He
I
grew up on
understand
this
that.
course.
I thought that was great. I thought Thomas in the second was a little bit dicey,
Mm-hmm.
but you know,
Paid off.
Thomas didn't play. He didn't play bad all week, but I just thought that, you know what, you need to put points on the board early,
Mm-hmm.
and for him to come out like that, I thought, ooh, I don't know, because you know, obviously Luke Donald come out, you know, he had his set order, like he top loaded quite a bit.
Yeah, because he wanted to end it. He wanted to end it quickly.
Well,
He
of
wanted to
course
end
he
it
did,
quickly.
of course he did, and you know what, the Americans. It was, you know, they didn't start off great. Like, there was a lot of blue on the board this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and as the singles went on, a lot of blue, but then you just see coming back,
Mm-hmm.
coming back. Like Bryson, 5 down to Fitzpatrick.
After 7,
And you're thinking, oh my dear
it's
Lord,
over.
what is
It's
going
over.
on? And
I
just
thought it was over.
as soon as 8 hit, 8 chip, 9 chip, 11, 12, all of a sudden you're back to square. It's like, what
And
are
then
we doing here?
back-to-back victories on 14 and 15 for DeChambeau.
And then,
Right.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then all of a sudden, so that
He
made that
wins.
square.
Then he wins 17.
Like,
And
it's just,
then
yeah,
yeah.
it was crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
and then you just kept seeing the wave of red. Like, it's like
And
it
then
was it's like
yeah.
it was an infectious. Scotty sees that, and he even
Yep.
said that in the press conference. I seen them. I see what's going on ahead of me. I hear what's going on ahead of me.
Yeah.
That you know,
And then Shoffley
that
and
riles
Span.
me. And
Yeah.
then, well, Shoffley ends his early with Rom, which was
Yep.
huge.
4 and 3.
Like, so as
Yep.
soon as you see that off the board, it's like, and then you're looking behind, you're going,
Then Span 2 and
JJ,
1.
yeah, Spawn is winning. Henley's one up.
He's
Uh,
he was actually up 2. He was up 2
He was up 2. But
entering the 15th.
but when I seen 1, because
Yeah.
that's when the lights going off, going, my God, the Americans actually, they
Have a
have a
chance.
chance.
And then at 17, where he was there to end it. If he hit 17, the match is over. That's another victory for the Americans.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's what they needed to do. They had to put victories on the board. They couldn't tie.
No ties. Because and then when he
And
missed
that's
those
where it
back
was,
to back putts, man.
yeah.
When he missed because here's the thing, right? Because we end up tying the Morikawa with Hatton and Burns and McIntyre, but I don't know. But we don't know because
But those
like
matches at
Paul
that time
McGinn,
didn't matter.
yeah, at that time it didn't matter. I think Morikawa knew, and then Burns someone probably told him like, oh, it's over. They got 14 points.
Oh, I'm sure that they heard.
Yeah, yeah. So they were like, okay, well, okay, then we're just playing just to play. It doesn't matter. So you start doing stuff. You don't really care. You're like, just start you start playing golf without just playing golf, but without purpose. You're just playing golf. And then because I think Paul McGinley on the broadcast said, it's not about knowing your strokes. It's not about playing better golf. It's all psychological. You see your teammate win a hole. You see your teammate win a matchup. Then you win a matchup. Then you win a matchup. And then they cut to JJ Spawn hitting a massive putt to keep his lead. And him ends up winning his matchup. And then it just kind of trickles down. Then what if Russell Henley wins his matchup, right?
Well, then
Then
we
Ben
could be talking a different story right now.
exactly, because then Ben Griffin won his matchup against Rasmus Højgaard. Then Morikawa and Burns are like,
Well, then all of a
they're
sudden,
still playing. They're
well,
still playing.
you have 2 matches left
Yeah.
that absolutely mean everything.
Mean the world. I'm gonna be real with you, Ryan. When Henley missed that 18th putt, I turned it off.
No, okay. Well, I mean,
what's the point? What's the point?
well, I guess yeah. For from an American fan standpoint, the Ryder Cup's over at that point.
Yeah,
Once Lowry hits that putt, it's over.
it's over.
Yeah, there's really like if you're just watching it to watch it, then yeah, there's no need but there's still so much pride in these golfers.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you actually look at what was what the final score was?
15-13.
You would have never ever have guessed that it would have been 15-13 after the way the first 2 days played out.
Yeah. Ryan, I literally was on here last night, and what did I tell you,
Huge
Ryan?
props.
What did I tell you? I said, write it on the trophy, engrave it already. It's over. And you know what? I'm proud of my boys on that Sunday, man. I'm proud of them. I am proud. I am upset of the way they were set up in the first 2 days, but that Sunday, man, 1-on-1 with the lights being bright, Young, Scheffler, DeChambeau's comeback, Thomas, his victory, Scotty, Scheffler, and then the comeback by DeChambeau. I was very proud of him because I was like, after 7, I was like, bro, you down 5 after 7, bro, just call it a day. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna call it a day.
No, but I'm
gonna survive. I'm gonna scrape out a tie. And with it was phenomenal.
And with these players, like you think about Bryson, you think about Scotty, Rory, these players, they played every session. They must be tired, not just physically, but mentally, and especially players like Rory and that who are just getting the crap beat out of them by the fans.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What a despicable display of unattendance. I'm sick.
But the problem is, but that's the problem. You're going to have 300,000-400,000 people show up for a weekend.
Yeah,
20 of them can ruin it for everybody, or for the optics. And
I saw the video yesterday where they throw a drink at Rory McIlroy.
No, at his wife.
And his wife.
At his wife.
They threw a drink at him and his wife.
But this is where I think that I understand the drinking and the boozing and that, but I think they need to kind of tame that a bit.
Oh yeah, so side to Spanner. Yeah, Spanner. We agree with you, right? We ended up saying it doesn't matter. Like the Hovland point doesn't matter because we shouldn't have been down at that point going into Sunday. That biggest problem was the deficit going into Sunday, not even the Hovland point. So you're right,
also,
Spanner says,
gentleman's agreement only came into law when U.S.
So there you U.S. requested it. Yeah. So I guess Keegan Bradley requested. He said Spanner says I'm 17 minutes behind the live, but even if U.S. got the Hovland point, Europe still would win at 14 and a half. You're absolutely correct. We finished at 15. Also, the gentleman's agreement only came into law when the U.S. requested it. Absolutely correct, Spanner. So
thank you. Thanks, Spanner.
He's definitely European because he says we finished at 15. You're absolutely correct, Spanner. I think the biggest problem was the deficit going into Sunday. That was the biggest problem. But then when the deficit was starting to be chipped away, and the hope started growing, Russell Henley's back-to-back misses just completely took the air out of it. And I think it trickled down.
Again, like we keep saying, I get the fact that those 2 putts from Russell Henley took the air out of your sails on a Sunday, but those aren't the reasons why you lost the Ryder Cup.
I agree with you, Ryan. I 100% agree with you. I think the biggest problem, the reason they lost, is that you shouldn't be down 11.5 to 4.5 entering Sunday. So you got slapped around in the team competitions. That's where you lost.
And it's great that they made a comeback in the singles. That's fantastic. I'm happy because it made for an enjoyable Sunday to watch golf.
It was very intense. Very.
Oh, absolutely.
I was on the edge of my seat.
as a competitor, as
Oh,
somebody who enjoys competition. Oh yeah, the heart was racing, the
absolutely.
palms were sweaty. It was great.
You know,
But
knees,
no,
arms are
there's
shaky, mom spaghetti. You know what it is.
oh yeah, no, I didn't throw up on my mom's
Yeah.
freaking sweater. No.
And oh,
But
what
anyways,
Eminem. But shot, you know what I love about the broadcast? I like how they always cut to the Whoop heart tracker, and it would be like 125 beats per. I was like, dude, that dude's heart is racing right now. He is racing, and it's amazing. But yeah, that's where they lost.
oh
That
yeah,
deficit was too much. Yo, telling Ryan, having to tell your team, oh hey guys, so going into Sunday, we have to win 10 outright.
well, did you hear Keegan's speech though, or what he
Oh, it
said to
was
the guys?
so corny, man.
Well, no, he said
So
no.
corny.
Like he's like, I went to the Super Bowl
It
when
was
New
oh
England was down 28-3 to Atlanta.
yeah,
I was also at the Super Bowl where what's his name, Malcolm something, made the
yeah,
interception.
Malcolm, yeah. That was just so
Like,
corny, bro. Like
oh yeah,
that's
just like
like, that was
good for you.
so
So you could afford to go to a Super Bowl. Perfect.
dude.
Thanks.
What a horrible pregame speech.
Well, I think he was just trying to tell them that the impossible is possible,
Yeah.
but and
Oh
had
no,
no other way of saying it. Like,
just he repeated it on his interview on the green. And when he was talking about, I'm just like, you are not someone who
like
inspires, are you?
I would have flown in. Now, if it was me as that captain, I would have flown in
Tom
Tony,
Brady.
no, Tony Erozioni,
Oh, yeah.
and let's give a 1980 freaking miracle speech.
Yeah.
At least that way you're trying. You're not just sitting there saying, "Oh, I went to these Super Bowls where they come back that nobody thought they could."
Yeah, man.
Like, come on.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad.
But you know what? Again, all the credit to the Americans. Every 11 of them, unfortunately, Harris English
Well, but oh wait,
was the odd man out.
I just realized. So Spanner, but you wouldn't have ended with 14 and a half. You'd have ended with 14 because if we got the full point for Hovland, we would have had 14 instead of wait. Yeah, no, it would be 14 and a half. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Team,
Said Team USA can play their own balls and singles, but we have no concept of team golf has always been an advantage for the Europeans. Yeah,
100%,
100%. You know,
150%.
Ryan has been pointing that out for the past 3 days. Absolutely, they just
The
just
Europeans are just the Europeans are a team,
and the Americans are just a bunch of dudes.
a bunch of singles put together as a team.
Yeah, they're a bunch of individuals. They're not doing nothing much.
No,
And
but that's always been like we've talked about all the best that the US like from the past, Tiger, Phil, all them.
yeah,
They are absolutely horrible when it comes to four ball and foursomes. They're the
yeah.
worst because they're not a team. They are collectively singles that are just playing golf with somebody else.
Ryan? Do you think the ball aspect of it changes for people because they had because in the Sunday it's their balls made by their manufacturers by their sponsors the way they like it, but in the Sunday and well in the Saturday and the Friday they have to share and pick which ball is good.
Well, I think there's a
How
you
much
know
is how much is the actual ball a factor?
I think when it comes to well again it when it comes to the foursomes obviously that's a big factor because
Yes.
whoever's teeing off that's the ball you use.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to be perfectly honest, there's only like 3-4 manufacturers of balls that I think that these players use that I
Mm-hmm.
think they're all pretty accustomed to it. Like I know Bryson has his own thing with the ball, and I think that's why it's a little more difficult to find somebody for him because I think he uses 3 lines, not 2.
Does he make his own?
But
He makes his own, right? Like his own personal ones.
I don't know if he makes his own balls. I know he does something with the ball.
Okay.
That's completely different from everybody else. But I think you know what? Most of the pros, Titleist, Callaway,
Mhm.
uh, I think another big TaylorMade.
Yes, tailor made.
I mean, I think those are all. I think all those balls, depending, like they're all using tour stock ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very similar. as far as I'm concerned.
By the way, I am with TaylorMade on 2K25.
Oh,
There's that.
there you
Yes, yes,
go.
yes, I am. Yes, 2K25 champion up in here. You know what it is. But yeah, man, it's a great furious attack on Sunday, but it shouldn't have been like that.
No, it was
It shouldn't have
too.
happened.
It was unfortunately it was too little, too late
Yep, too
when it
little,
came
too
to the
late.
American side.
You
Which
cannot lose. You cannot lose 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, or most.
well,
Well,
there's a half in there
there was a
somewhere.
half. There was a half in there somewhere.
A
But
point and a
you,
half, I think, first day,
yeah.
second group,
But
second round,
you
second
got
session.
you did not win any of. You got slapped around. You lost most of the team events,
No,
and that's where
and
you
that's the
lost.
thing. You lost Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
You made a valiant effort Sunday, which
Mhm.
commendable to every single one of those players that wore the red, white, and blue. But it was just too little, too late. And
Yeah.
and the thing is, I'm not saying the players are to blame. They're because obviously they're the ones out there swinging the clubs playing. But I put a lot of that on the coaching staff, on the captains and the vice captains, because they're the ones that are making these teams. And they should have known after Friday that okay, something needs to change because we got our butts handed to us. And they just went out with the exact same formula they did Saturday as they did Friday, and the
Mhm.
same thing happened. So it's I'm not saying like no offense to Keegan Bradley, you know, but as a he just as a captain did not do what needed to be done to put his team in the best position to win.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did at all. Um. So 2027.
Going back to Ireland.
Yep. Adore Maynor. Adair Maynor. Yeah. I think that's how you say it.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Um. 7-0 on home soil for the Europeans. They're 4-4 on American soil. They just won their fourth match since 1995. Since 1995, let me point that out. Since 1995,
Okay.
entering this Ryder Cup, they were 7-0 on home soil and 3-4 on U.S. soil. So then now they're 4-4 on U.S. soil. Are they going? Roy
Well, okay.
McIlroy.
Well,
Roy
okay.
McIlroy in
Well,
Rome said,
here.
Ryan.
How about
Roy
how about
McIlroy in Rome
go
said,
ahead.
"It's gonna. I'm gonna enjoy winning it on U.S. soil." And it was a prediction at the moment, but it was actually a spoiler because it happened.
Okay. Yeah, and it did 100%.
Yes.
And
Do the
so
year.
let's fast forward 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's look at the teams. Let's look at both teams the way that they were constructed now.
Hmm.
Who from the European team is going to be missing from that 2027 team?
Nobody. I think they're
Uh,
gonna bring. They're gonna bring
I
the
think. Well, no, I think there's going to be one, maybe two.
who?
I don't know if Justin Rose will still be there because
Oh
he's
yeah, because he'll be like 50,
four-
48,
47, 48.
47. Yeah. So they're gonna have to replace Rose.
But I also think like you might not see a Hoygaard.
Yeah, probably replace him with his brother. Just
But if
replace.
you,
I mean, just
well,
continue
sure,
to replace each
sure.
other.
I wish they
Yeah.
would. I love Danish. I love the
Yeah.
Danes. But yeah, I wish. But if you look at that team, I don't see there being too like. I don't know. Like Rom is still going to be there.
Yep.
McElroy is still going to be there. Fleetwood's still going to be there. Hatton's still going to be there. Like you're still going to have a great chunk of this team. And then we flip to the Americans. It's very much similar. Like I don't think Justin Thomas will be there.
Yeah. Nah. He's
I
he.
I I don't
He's
think
in,
no, I don't think Harris English will be there. I don't think
unless he auto qualifies like he did this time around.
yeah, well, that's still 2 years down the road. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's very possible.
Yeah.
Like I look at like the young players from the United States have it's one thing to have Ryder Cup experience. It is.
Mhm.
That's great. But there's nothing like having Ryder Cup experience from an away venue,
Yes.
which a lot of these young players from the States will not have.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a totally different environment for if these players are lucky enough to get back to the 2027 Ryder Cup. It's going to be a like it's going to be a totally different experience than what this one was. So I right now I still give the edge to Europeans. Yes, it's on European soil, which is great, but just from the projections, from what I can see for teams, I still think like the Europeans are still going to be a stronger team.
Yeah. So apparently, people keep bringing up the Solheim Cup gives the other team a full point. They're still arguing about that, but again,
Yeah. Well,
um,
people can argue about that all they want. It was a gentleman's agreement that was reached that
mhm.
apparently has not been probably has not had to be used for the 40 years or whatever since it was introduced. And now, yes, it'll probably get discussed and talked about between the
Mhm.
PGA and the RGA, the Royal Golf Association for Europe, and maybe they can come up with something.
Yeah. Does Morikawa show up in 2027?
He has the ability to. I just don't know if his like because he didn't play like he's kind of he's regressed the last couple years.
Mhm.
So again, if he makes it, he'd probably have to play his way on the team. But again, he's young enough. He's got all the talent. Like he's like every single one of these golfers have the talent. It's just can you put it together for that 1 year that the Ryder Cup is going on?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We were really saying Ryder Cup US is a systematic issue. That's what we're saying.
No, what I'm saying right now is congratulations to the European Ryder Cup
That
team
too.
for winning the 2025 Ryder Cup. The the United States Ryder Cup team have some thinking to do, and they have 2 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
And is it systematic? Maybe. They have 2 years to figure it out, though.
Mhm.
So all we can do right now is wait till they announce the next captains, see what's going to happen. Is Luke Donald going to come back for a third tenure? I'd be very surprised if he does.
Why not? Run it back, Luke.
I
Run it back.
I think he's done his two, and he says I'm good.
Nah, I think why not do one more, man? Do one more.
Mm, yeah, again, it's hard to say. I like would I love him to come back? Absolutely, but you know what? Like he's done it twice. There's nothing more for him to do there. Maybe let somebody else have the captaincy, have the reign.
You think he's gonna get knighted? I think he's gonna get knighted for this.
No, I don't think I don't think he'll get knighted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Gareth Southgate got knighted and he didn't win anything.
Oh, that's English football.
Yeah, but that man made a
Watch,
semifinal at a World Cup
there you
and
go.
made a Justin Rose will be
There you
captain
go.
in 2 years.
You know the deal. He knows the deal. And I
Justin Rose.
100% would be on board with that if that
I
is
would be
the case.
too. I would be too.
I think that would be fantastic.
You know, shout out to Luke Donald. Also to his story. If people don't know, 2 years ago he wasn't supposed to be the captain. 2 years in 2023. He wasn't supposed to be the captain. They had picked their captain. It was Hendrik Stenson.
Yeah,
And
Henrik
then
said,
they pulled his captaincy away from him because he accepted the
live.
live
Yeah.
golf money. And they said, "Hey, Luke, you need to be the captain, and you need to, you know, fix it, do something. We just got beat down at Whistling Straits. Even though it was post COVID and it was kind of weird, it was still kind of a bad taste in their mouth. And they basically told Luke Donald to fix it, and he was like, okay,
And guess what? He's fixed it. He's repaired it. He's
yes,
made it. He
he's
took
made
a
it stronger.
oh,
Yeah,
he
man.
took yeah, I mean, he took a Pontiac Firebird and turned it into a Rolls Royce. Like that man, like genius. But it's not just him. If you listen to him, there's lots of brilliant minds over on the European team. And I'm not saying
Francisco Molinari. He's
no,
their
Eduardo is the brilliant one of the two.
okay. So
Eduardo,
Eduardo Molinari, he's the stat guy.
he's the stat
Francis
guy.
Francisco met up with Ted Scott today
That's correct.
It looked weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like Francisco was like being held hostage. It was kind of weird. But so Eduardo Molinari, he's their stat guy, and he's the guy, the one that
Yeah,
pounds them with the information.
that's right.
But yeah, and also too, here's the thing too, right? We talk about the captains and all that. Rory McIlroy's connection with Lou Donald, because Rory, you know, kind of like the heart and soul of the team. He loves this. You know what I mean? So getting Rory to buy in, I think it trickled down. It just trickled down. And then Rory's you know, such a gravitating force. He is a gravitating force. You gravitate towards Rory McIlroy. I think that's the problem with probably with Scotty Scheffler. He's a great golfer. I think he's a great golfer.
Okay, who do you think? So
There's no gravitating force on the U.S. that you gravitate towards and you kind of play for. Because on the European side, you kind of gravitate towards Rory and you play for Rory as well.
okay. So you're not saying he's the best. He was the best golfer.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No,
Okay.
he was not the best golfer. I think that's probably Tommy Fleetwood or
Yeah,
Justin Rose.
it'd be one of those two.
Yeah, it
Like
was one of those two.
John Rahm, besides
Yeah, with
his day
John Rahm.
today,
Yes,
but
yes. Besides
but
today,
yeah,
yeah,
I would
he was
say
damn
probably
good.
Rose or Fleetwood are probably the catalysts of the
Yes,
team.
yes,
Yeah, I would say Rory's more he's the vocal leader of the players.
yes, yes.
But I also think I think that's missing from the Americans.
Hmm.
Because I don't think Scotty Scheffler is like, I don't know. He could be, but he just doesn't seem like the type of guy that be
I
like
don't think it's in his
vocal in that.
personality. I don't think it's in his personality. I think he's a guy who just says, "I just want to go out there and play golf and just be great at it." And it's not like it's not really like even when he like got arrested, he was just like, Okay," and he kind of just like you know he just
Yeah,
he just kind of went about it. He didn't really mind. He's like, okay, I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested. Like he didn't really be bent out of shape. He's not really like that. It's not.
well, no, it's not in his stature. It's not in his
Yeah,
bones to do that.
yeah. He's like Tim Duncan. For any of our basketball fans, where Tim Duncan wasn't overtly passionate. He came to work
Yeah,
and just was great.
yeah,
And he expected you to match it.
yeah.
He wasn't gonna tell you. He wasn't gonna be like, "Hey man, let's go." He was just gonna show up and be great, and he expects you to know that he's being great. It's now your time to be great.
Hmm.
I think that's what Scotty Scheffler is. He's just great, and he
Oh,
expects I'm great. You should be great with me. We should be great. I shouldn't tell you let's be great.
no,
I shouldn't try to
I,
drag you in.
I shouldn't have to tell you you're great.
Yeah, exactly. Do it.
But sometimes that's what people need to hear. So
Exactly. Some people need to hear that.
yeah,
I think most people. No, I think everybody needs to hear that.
it doesn't hurt. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. It doesn't hurt, but I just think it has to come from certain people. Like it can't come from Scotty Scheffler because he can't do that. He can't. I don't know. I don't know how to say it because like gravitating force, a galvanization. You know what I mean? He's just there to play golf and be great. And you know what? Shout out to Scotty Scheffler. He played very good. 22
yeah.
under. 22 under. Unfortunately, his opponents were 32 under. They were just better than him.
Well, that's what this Ryder Cup come down to, and
Yeah.
we've said that in spades on this show. It's the Americans fought valiantly and played well, but just nowhere near the level of the Europeans the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sunday, I can give the Americans, probably I would give them the nod for team of the day, but if you put yourself in an insurmountable hole on the first 2 days, like to go perfect on a Sunday, like I mean that's just like they did it. They did 300% better than I thought they would. So credit to them. Credit to the I'm not saying like Keegan obviously he got them fired up,
Mm-hmm.
but credit to them for coming out and just battling and battling and battling. But ultimately, it was just too big of a hole to dig yourself out of, and the Europeans retained the cup.
Yeah. Shout out to the Europeans. Shout out to Roy McIlroy. Shout out to Shane Lowry. I'm a big fan of those two. I'm a
It
big fan.
couldn't happen to like Shane Lowry to win. Like I thought that was just it was perfect. The
It couldn't happen to a better person, to be
no
quite honest with you.
the only other one I thought when I was seeing the scores, like if it come down to like Rasmus Højgaard and he got that winning point because Luke Donald he kept him out all day Saturday.
Hmm.
Like for him to get that winning half point or whatever, I thought would have been awesome as well. But
Yeah.
again, you know, none of us thought it'd get to that point of the session, but it did, and it just come down to you know big old Shane Lowry, wonderful Irishman,
Hmm. Hmm. So
sunk
let's
their
look.
foot.
So let's look at Luke Donald in the Ryder Cup, Ryan. As a player, '04, he won 18 and a half to 9.5. That was away. And then it was he was called in '06, 2010, and 2012. He won 3 more. So as a player, he has 4 Ryder Cups. 2 home, 2 away. As a captain, he has 2
One
Ryder
home,
Cups. He
one
has
one.
6 he has 6 Ryder Cups to his name, Luke Donald.
Yep,
The man was built for this competition, bro.
100%.
Man was built for this competition.
You're
Give
not
that
comparing
man
it.
a knighthood. All right. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We'll probably be back in April in that chase for the green jacket, Augusta. One day, Ryan, you know what? You know what my dream is? I just want to play it one day. I don't even want to play it good. I just want to play it. I'll
Oh,
probably suck.
I don't. Yeah, I've played golf since I was 13. I bet you I'd shoot 140.
Yeah, I'm out. Shoot, give me 1,000. That's my
Oh
handicap.
yeah. No,
That's my
you.
handicap. Give me
I
a
was gonna
thousand.
say. I was gonna say. Gee, I don't think there's enough balls that are made in
I
the
don't
world
think.
that'll
I don't
that'll
think. I'll.
that'll keep you
I'll
from
be like.
finishing that round.
Be like 4
Yeah,
again. Sorry,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
10th time. My bad.
My
On
bad.
this one hole.
Yeah.
You're still on the first tee, Ferris. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You know. Like I think 5 sitting presidents have ever played Augusta. Only 5.
Oh, is that it?
I think so. I think it's only 5. I don't know. I don't know the exact
I'm not
stat,
sure.
but yeah,
I'm
I'm
not.
not sure. No, who cares? Screw them. I'm president. I can play Augusta. How dare you? Actually win it. But shout out to the Europeans. What a what a strange Ryder Cup with the fans and Beth Page Black being put the way it was. But overall, the Europeans came to play and they played the Americans off the park.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's really like that's for in conclusion, 100%. Like
Yes.
uh, everything was in coming in the Americans' favor. They could set up the course. They could do this,
Mm-hmm.
do that, and at the end of the day, it didn't really matter because the strength of the Europeans is team,
Mm-hmm.
and they won because they're a team.
Yep. Pretty much. All right. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Ryan, what
Appreciate
other
you.
shows on the channel you operate with?
So after this, in the next couple weeks, we have a show on here called the Playoff Beards, which is NHL hockey. We're going to be doing probably a season preview coming up very soon between myself and the host of the show, Mr. Snark, Rob Clark. So that'll probably be in the next week or two because preseason's just flopping along right now. We're hopping. Marc-Andre Fleury had his final game as a Pittsburgh Penguin there last night. Congratulations to him on his retirement. He was a beauty, going to be missed.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, that's pretty much what I have going on this channel right now. And again, thanks for everybody who commented, who's been in the stream. It was great to have questions in that. Loved answering them, and thank you very much. This has been a blast.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. My name is Ferris Blana. You can find me here every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific. Good friends, better rivals. We talk American football, the NFC East most importantly. We also have an entertainment channel, the the post credits. I am on that show. I'm on the Rewatchers Council episodes of MCU, as well as the Buffy and Angel Rewatchers series that kicked off the Rewatchers Council extended universe. And anything else on Sports Channel? Nope. That's it. No, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night wherever you're watching, or evening. We appreciate you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time, possibly in April.